Hello, everyone. Welcome to Celsius 233, your go-to place for fiction book summaries. Today, we will embark on a journey through A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. A Tale of Two Cities, written by Charles Dickens and published in 1859, is a historical novel set against the turbulent backdrop of the French Revolution. The novel explores the deep social and political divides between London and Paris during the late 18th century, capturing the chaos and brutality of the revolution while intertwining it with the personal stories of its characters. Dickens weaves a tale of sacrifice, resurrection, and revenge, focusing on themes of justice, love, and human redemption amidst a society on the brink of collapse. With its rich historical detail and unforgettable characters, A Tale of Two Cities stands as one of Dickens's most powerful and poignant works, reflecting his deep concern for social justice and his exploration of the complexities of human nature. Plot summary. Amidst the rising tensions of late 18th century Europe, the cities of London and Paris stand as witnesses to the lives of those ensnared by fate, love, and the brutal hand of revolution. It begins with Jarvis Lorry, a respectable banker at Tellson's Bank, traveling to France to reunite Dr. Alexander Manette with his daughter, Lucy. After 18 long years, Dr. Manette, once a distinguished physician, has been released from the Bastille, broken in spirit and mind. Kept in a dark garret in Paris, he is haunted by the years of solitary confinement, spending his days crafting shoes, a habit born of his mental collapse. Lucy, a young woman of extraordinary kindness, arrives with Laurie to bring her father to London, where he may start his life anew. Years pass, and in London, Lucy blossoms into a figure of warmth and gentleness. Through her, the remnants of her father's fractured mind are slowly restored. It is in this setting that Charles Darnay, a French immigré disillusioned by his family's cruel legacy, first enters her life. Darnay is no ordinary man. He has turned his back on the aristocratic Evremond name, seeking refuge in England from the bloody rumblings of the French Revolution. Despite his noble birth, Darnay stands trial in England for being a spy. By a stroke of fate, he is saved when Sidney Carton, a brilliant but dissipated lawyer, points out their uncanny physical resemblance, casting doubt on the prosecution's claims. Darnay is acquitted, and a bond begins to form between him and Lucy. Carton, though outwardly indifferent and burdened by his own failings, harbors a deep, unspoken love for Lucy. In her, he sees all the light and goodness missing from his own life. His love, however, remains silent, and he continues his life as a shadow, drifting through existence with no purpose, save the rare moments he spends in Lucy's company. Meanwhile, across the Channel, Paris is on the verge of explosion. In the wine-stained streets of St. Antoine, Madame Defarge, a woman of implacable resolve, knits the names of those marked for death into her endless scarf. She, alongside her husband, Monsieur Defarge, leads a swelling tide of revolutionary fervor, driven by a personal vendetta against the Evremond family. The sins of the French aristocracy, embodied in Darnay's uncle, are not forgotten, and Madame Defarge's thirst for vengeance grows with every passing day. Unaware of the full weight of his lineage, Darnay marries Lucy, and they live in relative peace in London, raising their child. However, when news reaches him that his former steward in France has been imprisoned by the revolutionaries, Darnay makes a fateful decision. Against the warnings of Lucy and her father, he returns to Paris, believing that his rejection of his family's cruel ways will spare him from the revolution's wrath. But France has descended into chaos, and no aristocrat is safe. Darnay is arrested, labeled an enemy of the people, and thrown into La Force prison. Lucy, Dr. Manette, and Laurie follow Darnay to Paris, desperate to save him. Dr. Manette, revered as a former prisoner of the Bastille, initially holds sway with the revolutionary leaders, and Darnay is temporarily freed. Yet the danger is far from over. The Defarges, particularly Madame, have not forgotten the crimes of the Evremond family. As it turns out, it was the brutality of Darnay's uncle that destroyed Madame Defarge's family, leading her to pursue a relentless quest for revenge. She ensures Darnay is arrested once more, this time sentenced to die by the guillotine. As Darnay's fate seems sealed, Sidney Carton appears in Paris. Though he has long lived a life of dissipation, Carton now has a purpose, one born out of his deep, unselfish love for Lucy. He devises a daring plan to save Darnay, knowing full well that this will be his final act. Carton uses his physical resemblance to Darnay to switch places with him in prison. Drugging Darnay, Carton ensures that the man Lucy loves will be smuggled out of France, while he, Carton, faces the blade in his place. On the day of execution, Carton walks with quiet dignity toward his fate. Around him, the fever of revolution claims countless lives, but Carton is serene, his mind filled with thoughts of Lucy and the peace he believes he will bring her. In his final moments, he reflects on the meaning of sacrifice and redemption, and as he stands beneath the shadow of the guillotine, he finds solace in knowing that his death will grant life and happiness to others. Madame Defarge, meanwhile, meets her own violent end. Determined to wipe out the entire Evremond line, including Lucy and her daughter, she confronts Miss Pross, Lucy's devoted servant. In the ensuing struggle, Madame Defarge's pistol discharges, killing her instantly and ensuring that her plot for further vengeance dies with her. As the revolution continues to consume Paris, Darnay, Lucy, and their child escape to England, unaware of the full extent of Carton's sacrifice. Carton, who once believed himself worthless, finds redemption in his selfless act. His final thoughts are a vision of the future, a future where Lucy's descendants live in peace and freedom, a future born from his love and sacrifice. In those final moments, he knows with certainty that his sacrifice was not in vain. It is a far, far better thing that I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest that I go to than I have ever known. That's it for now, but don't stop here. Charles Dickens has more stories waiting for you. Check them out in the description or on Celsius 233. Remember, while our summaries capture the essence, they can never replace the full experience of reading the book. If this summary intrigued you, consider diving into the complete story, buy the book, and immerse yourself in Charles Dickens's original work. Bye-bye, take care, have fun.